Now we're going to talk about two GameCube games from Capcom. This is Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
When they first announced these games that Capcom was putting out, I assumed that they were going to come out with Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 and do what they did to the first Resident Evil, which give it all updated graphics and add bits and pieces. I'm thinking, well, that's the only normal thing to do, correct?
That's correct, and that's why we're reviewing these games for you guys. Now, the truth is that Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 for the GameCube are exactly the same game that gamers got to play a few years ago on the PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast. That wouldn't be such a problem, especially for fans of the series, because they want to be able to complete their collection for the GameCube. It's the first time that all these games are available for the GameCube, so that's kind of cool. And when you read the announcements a little more closely from Capcom regarding these things for the GameCube, RE2 and 3 were supposed to come out at $20.
That's right.
But what has happened is that both of these games have launched at $40
each.
Why isn't someone doing something about this?
Well, what is stopping anyone from going out and buying Resident Evil 2 or 3 on the PlayStation for like under $10? Why would somebody pay $40 for something they can get in the bargain bin or eBay for $5?
Well, that's the thing.
They could have easily fit both of these games, 2 and 3. As a matter of fact, they could have put 1, 2, and 3 if they're going to do all the original games on one disc.
No problem.
Sell that for $20 or $30. Maybe then we could forget about all the shortcomings. Hey, let's face it, when Resident Evil 2 and 3 came out originally,
they were awesome.
The graphics were great. That was 5 years ago.
What was that? What are these things? All right, that's far enough.
This is a great sort of time capsule to look back on and say, oh man, we used to think these were the best you could get. It ain't true anymore. I mean, the graphics are pretty blocky. The characters in both games look really sort of blocky. The guns and arms and fingers and stuff like that lack the detail.
Even if you're not going to update the graphics, the GameCube's capable of doing Dolby Pro Logic 2. At least put this out. Nothing, no difference. All the exact same thing. They didn't give us an extra anything.
You do get the arrange mode that was on the Dreamcast version of RE2, and that's kind of cool because you get to start the game off with a machine gun and start taking out zombies that way. This is for RE fanatics and completists only.
Who have never played those games previously and who've only owned Nintendos so that they never got a chance to play these games.
We're not saying these are bad games, it's just a bad deal. I'm going to give these games 5 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 2.5 because I don't know why anyone in their right mind would go out and buy these games. There's no reason to do it.
On the positive side, both games are good Resident Evil games and fans will enjoy them quite a bit. And although the graphics look pretty bad in both games, the audio still stands up pretty well.
On the negative side, one game is 5 years old, one game is 3 years old, but they're charging a full pop of $40 each game. Capcom should have added some extras or put in something new like they did with the first original Resident Evil game.